Hi, I'm Michael, and this is Carelifornia. And last week, we ended with stimulus negotiations with everything seemingly beginning to calm down. The Republican Senate signaled that they were more willing to start negotiations with Democrats for another round of stimulus package. The Problem Solvers Caucus had brought together members of Congress from both sides, and the House was showing some optimism towards progress in the stimulus package, with President Trump all but demanding that the two sides come together and hammer out a deal. But over the weekend, one of the most beloved members of the Supreme Court passed away, Ruth Bator Ginsberg. What this means for her family and all of us RBG fans is undoubtedly a feeling of loss, and our hearts go out to her family and her friends. Moreover, there is a pending sense of instability as her seat on the Supreme Court is now vacant, and her absence has already thrown up all the dust that just started to settle in the stimulus package negotiation. So today we are talking about the current state of the stimulus package negotiation and how the loss of RBG and other variables may affect our chances of getting any support in the near future. Now this is your 5-minute daily dose. So let's make this quick. But before we do that, if you like this information, if you find it interesting, if you find it helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. Undoubtedly, we want to start with the death of Ruth Bator Ginsberg. She was a powerhouse figure in the U.S. Supreme Court and contributed to some of the biggest decisions in the last 20 years. But her vacancy in the court is yet another complication in the already sticky stimulus package negotiation. Although the Supreme Court doesn't have any active role in the negotiations directly, in short, her absence has tipped the balance in favor of Republicans and at least will distract away from the progress that's already been made towards getting help out to the American people. But politically, her seat being filled by a Republican-nominated judge will be a serious diminution of the liberal perspective in our courts for generations to come. Once the president recommends a prospective justice, it is the Republican-held Senate who only needs a simple majority of 51 senators to confirm the next Supreme Court justice. At the moment, they have a majority in the Senate of 53 senators, which means that if there is a new judge appointed before the next election, they will very, very likely be a Republican judge and change the makeup of the Supreme Court from a 5-4 split like it was right now to a 6-3 majority in favor of conservative, which is a big, hairy deal for both sides. This also means that Congress will be preoccupied with either trying to stop or trying to finalize an appointment in the next few months before the election. Of course, RBG's empty seat is going to be a big distraction, but there are other things on the horizon that may make the possibility of another stimulus package before the election dubious at best. For example, there is still a continuing resolution bill that is meant to fund the government through the rest of the year. Now, although both sides previously agreed to work on the bill without any cross-pollination from the stimulus check fight, they didn't agree to keep the new factor of the Supreme Court justice out of it. And at this point, it may be one of the Democrats' only bargaining chips is to hold out on continuing resolution approval unless Republicans give in on the Supreme Court justice fight and wait until after the election. But that ain't going to happen. So either way, that means that the stimulus package will take a third backseat in priority for Congress to get done in the next few months. Finally, lest we not forget that there is an election that's happening in November, and that means that members of Congress and the rest of the country will be expending considerable amounts of energy and attention on campaigns and debates and elections going on. A majority of the work that is done during the election season is done in October, where politicians have to go back to the districts and try to get reelected. But what that means is they are not in the Capitol voting on stimulus packages. But luckily, last week, Nancy Pelosi had said that she will keep the House in session until the next stimulus package is passed. Last week, she had an optimistic stance on the possibility of a stimulus package. But a lot of things have happened in that time frame, and with the new challenges arising, it'll be interesting to see what she thinks now. Because looking at all the fights that lay ahead, and looking at all the amount of work that needs to get done in a very short period of time, optimistic might be a tough stance to keep. Overall, the prospect of the next stimulus package just got a whole lot more complicated, despite the fact that the economic and health issues folks have been living with right now have not changed. There are still many Americans suffering with food, economic, and housing insecurities directly as a result of the pandemic that has taken the lives of hundreds of thousands of people in this country and the livelihoods of millions more. My hope is that our leaders will be able to juggle the next few weeks in a way that allows them to put aside the political rumble that's about to happen and still figure out how to do what is best for those of us who still have to worry about how to pay the rent and how to put food on the table before we worry about which strategy will leave us in the best political situation. This has been your 5-minute daily dose. I hope that you found it interesting or helpful or at least useful. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. Also, we here at Carelifornia, we know health insurance. So if you have any questions about your health insurance, leave those down below. We'll be happy to make a new video or a new post as soon as we can. Other than that, I'm Michael, and this is Carelifornia, wishing you a happy, healthy day.